Every shonen protagonist has plot armor, or in other words, they can't die up until the end of the story. There may be exceptions like in Dragon Ball where Goku die and come back to life when the show decide he does, but you get the point. The protagonist die for good when the writer choose he will die, as it is the case with like any story. So every story has some kind of plot armor. The thing to remember is when we the viewer notice the plot armor, it's bad. But then what happens when chainsawman comes in, use our preconceived notion of plot armor, make us by design think nothing bad can happen by making us think the character have a very evident and visible plot armor, and then slap us in the face with it, and then use another fake plot armor to make us think it can't get worse. Then this time slap us 2 more times with it. Well, we are in for a ride, as today we will see how Chainsaw Man made its most surprising moment of the first season work so well, how it killed Himeno and kicked us in the ball at the same time.
Let's do it, guys! Right. It's morphin' time!
Well, the first thing Chainsaw Man did to make us think the side cast had plot armor at that point in the story, and there are many ways to make the audience think a character has plot armor using shonen trope, especially side character, or even the protagonist, is to have the gang, meaning the main character and the most important side character in the show at that time, you know, like the trio of Aki, Power, and Denji, plus Makima, have a party with the other devil hunter just before killing most of them. Have us know more about some character we already knew and learn to know new one, and especially after that have Denji spend time with Himeno and them make an alliance just before we see them die, basically using what we associate in a shonen as world building as a way to trick us at being shocked when they die. Let me explain. As a point of reference, it's like if in the Chunin exam of Naruto, most of the new character introduced would just die in the next arc, you know, like Neji or Choji, when the point of having so many new characters in the Chunin exam is to build the world of Naruto, to have us aware they exist and know them when they show up again in a natural way, building the world of your show by making it more alive, when killing those characters just after introducing them would mean killing your world building, or at least this part of the world building. It's the same thing if everyone in the Hunter exam of Hunter x Hunter, except the main gang of character, meaning Gon and Kirula, would just die the next arc without having the chance to say anything or come back later on. It would be surprising to say the least, and subvert the idea that the character that was just introduced to this extent and in this context would be appearing long after their introduction, but it would cost you your world building and the time you spend on those characters to be surprising. And killing them is surprising again, only because other shonen make us think that way, and because it's legit surprising. And it's base as fuck. Like slapping us in the face once. And as we see that Himeno is still alive at that point, it still makes sense to us that the other died. Like, we can believe it. Plus look, the Katana Devil is evidently designed to fight against Denji at some point. Even if we don't say it out loud, it's the association our brain makes seeing him. Like, man, that guy kinda look like Denji, and like you know him too. Wonder if they will fight at one point. So we kinda know in the back of our mind that he can't die until then. He has plot armor himself, and so he would have, in the best case scenario for our character, to have to retreat. In other words, we kinda automatically understand the side cast can't kill him, that he can only die after fighting Denji.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
But to come back to the scene we were talking about, our main gang of characters are not safe now. And it's here that another of our preconception of shonen plot armor is put to the test. One that I will call setup and payoff. You see, in the previous arc, even before the party, we get an important piece of setup that Aki has a contract with another devil. That this devil is so strong, he will take years away of life of that character. or at least at that point that something really bad will happen to him if Aki uses it, telling us that it's his ultimate trump card, putting two important things in our brain. One, that he cannot die before using this move, as then we would have set up without the payoff of seeing the move, and two, that the move is so strong that it's most likely going to make him win. The other characters certainly act that way, I mean Himeno does. Plus the concept of setup and payoff is nothing new to shonen, like if Naruto learned the Rising Shuriken in an arc or Gon the Jajanken, you know nothing bad can happen to them until we see the move. By that I mean they can't die. If not, there wouldn't be payoff to the setup. We even kinda expect them to win with the move to show it off in like a cool way. Plus Aki need to use the move because if not, he is really dead. Now fueled with her sense of security that her boy has a trump card up his sleeve, and her preconceived notion that the show wouldn't make a technique that has huge consequences on one of the main trio of characters not work the first time it is used, that the consequences of not using the move is already bad enough on its own, I mean dying, and that if it doesn't work it would also mean death, and would leave the rest of the side cast defenseless, and to their death. And that's not even counting Denji that clearly depend on him. Power could maybe run away, but that would mean Aki would die if he didn't win. And so would Himeno, that we just saw make an alliance with Denji. Plus, even if we think about all the possibility, our brain will think that, oh well, the Katana Devil will have to fight Denji, so the worst that can happen, or at least so we think, is that it will make him back off and nothing else. So now we have to think he can't lose, that at least the villain will have to run away. He already is set up good enough anyway to fight Denji later on, but no, it failed. It doesn't deny us the payoff of seeing the cursed sword in action. We get to see what it does, but it still doesn't work.
Disappointed!
Look, on its own, that is nothing really new to shonen, to have the move fail, like when Trunks say in Dragon Ball Z he is stronger than Super Vegeta, and that even when he transforms he cannot beat Cell. We at least saw the transformation and what it did, but in Chainsaw Man it's different. The move has consequences to not working, consequences you think will mean the move will have to do something. So we think unconsciously that he has plot armor, but Chainsaw Man says no. Every devil hunter has a contract, where the more powerful ability they get from devil, the more consequences they have on their health. But even if we didn't think of that before it happened, as we didn't know a contract could be changed mid-fight, explaining why we really thought Aki was our only hope. It makes sense that if Himeno losing her eye would grant her an arm of the ghost devil, losing the rest would let her use everything. It's an asshole, like maybe I am wrong, but I don't think the anime said anything about changing your contract with a devil mid-fight, but because she would lose everything, it's hard to say it's weird that she never said anything about it before. Like I know I wouldn't have if I were her. Like she didn't think she would have to die, that by dying she would be able to save everyone, that if she lost, they were all going to die except Denji, that would be left defenseless against his enemy. So yeah, he would be pretty much dead too. So that means either she make the Katana Devil back off, or they all die. So we expect her sacrifice to at least matter. We once again have to think the Katana Devil will have to back off. And it seemed to work at first, but then the Snake Devil ate the Ghost Devil, and Himeno died. We thought that as she was the only one left to protect Denji, she would have to make them retreat, so that Denji can fight them another time. But she died, and what we thought was the ultimate plot armor, the power protecting your protagonist, was used to slap us in the face. But Chainsaw Man doesn't stop here, as when we see people die in a shonen like this, it's a shock. So to make us realize things are happening for real, to make sure we are the most shocked, but that we still understand the gravity of what happened, they have the only character other than Denji won't die, that we see die in the arc alive, that Makima survived, to make us realize that it's real, that the other are all really dead. Basically using Makima to confirm to us that the other are really dead. Makima in this scene was the thing that made us doubt what we saw at first, and so easier to manipulate by the show and understand it was real by the end. At the same time, Denji woke up as the last thing the Ghost Devil did. He fought the Katana Devil. At that point, it's typical shonen stuff, well mostly they fought, he lost, but at the last minute he was saved by someone we thought also died. We see how Kobeni managed to survive and why she is best girl, and it hammered home even more how the story took a turn from what we thought could happen in one episode. How Chainsaw Man killed its newly introduced side cast, and at every turn used their preconceived notion to make us think that the hero were going to win, or at least not lose this bad, like this is really bad. And even if you don't realize it, it's because at many points we convince ourselves again and again that it can get worse, maybe not even realizing it ourselves, and that is especially the case if you watch a lot of shonen. That Chainsaw Man take our preconceived notion of plot armor and slap us in the face with it. But you know what? I think it's cool. It's a cool motivation for us to want Denji to kill the Katana Devil, or at least kick him in the ball. Plus it teaches something cool with Makima, but really after finishing the show I was like, why did this scene work so well? How does it manage with every new opportunity to make us think the hero will make the villain back off, when the opposite is always true? The more I realized that what Chainsaw Man did is to give us the perfect excuse to think everything would work out and made us think the character had plot armor. As simple as that. So yeah, don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe if you liked the video and want more video like those. Thanks for watching, guys.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping